Pokémon, Pokémon, Pokémon. Let's do it. I wanna be the very best. Like no one ever was. Like no one ever was. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a Pokemon sales data update video. We have so much to go over today. So, right now, we know currently that there is a Logan Paul box opening that he's selling. He's selling all the packs. They start at $10,000 a pack, I think. You can bid on them. I'm not sure when they end. I expect them to get minimum $12 to $15,000 a pack. Again, minimum. And then he's going to open them on Pokemon Day, February 27th. It is a Saturday. And that's also the day that PWCC auction ends. That PWCC auction is going to be one of the most important in history. I went over this the other day when I went over Trophy Kangaskhan. And I'll talk about that again real quick before we get into sales data. We have had trophies be talked about on an unprecedented level. At first, it was really just maybe SM Pratt and me going into him definitely going into trophies a lot because just what he has. It's what he's known as. Me just because I had a Trophy Kangaskhan PSA 4 earlier this year that I was getting, or I'm sorry, in 2020 that I got, and then I was trade that deal for that big PSA 10 that I showed you all yesterday. And since then, though, there have been trophies on PWCC auction, a place where not a lot of trophies have been in their lifetime. And now that it's starting to be the norm, starting to be like, oh, like once a quarter or every other auction. Like before we had the Trophy Kangaskhan go in that end of November auction, early December auction, there was one supposed to be like the one before, but because of the video, we saw that, oh, that's not a PSA 10, it's got a dent in it or whatever it had in it. And now these trophy cards are getting exposure where a lot of people that really maybe just getting into the hobby or they just want to collect what they got, they don't know what that is. Or even cross collectors that really just hear of Charizard or maybe Illustrator, they don't know of the super secret battles. They don't know of Trophy Kangaskhan. Maybe they just know of Top of the Top. And now these cards are getting so much exposure, you are going to see a meteoric rise, not just because it is the top of the top and Pokemon's the highest grossing media franchise of all time, but because it's getting so much clout, it's getting so much media attention. It's 25th anniversary, Logan Paul is doing it, Katy Perry's attached to this. We have a Illustrator, PSA 7, that is going on PWCC auction block on later, I think it's the 17th, and then it'll be ending on the same day that Logan Paul's having. That is going to be one of the biggest days in Pokemon history. It's Pokemon Day, it's the 25th anniversary. Logan Paul's doing that unboxing, and we have that PWCC auction with the Illustrator ending, where, as per SM Pratt, said that there are people willing to spend like $500,000 at that, sight unseen, for an Illustrator, PSA 7. Steve Aoki spent $420,000 on a raw copy. Turned out to get a 9, which is heckin' incredible. And remember that PSA 9 copy that kind of sold for $900,000, but not really, because it was a combination between trade-in and cash combined. That's not on the open market. Many of these are not on the open market. In Japan, you can't buy these. You probably can, but it's very, very hard to. They don't really only sell inside their circle. But in America, payments are a lot easier. This is going to bring so much clout to the hobby as well, because when you see things, every sale that happens that's over $100,000 helps the hobby, because like, oh, that is something that is extraordinarily rare. It's good for you. It's good for Pokemon. I'm very, very excited about it. I can't wait for it. I'll cover it as this keeps going. But that being said, let's get into sales. Neo Destiny. We had a Charizard First Edition, Shining Charizard First Edition PSA 10, so for $21,000. Dark Donphin. I keep telling y'all, this is such an undervalued card. I'm so cash poor right now, but I should have got it. First Edition PSA 10, $850. That is still so undervalued. Dark Gengar First Edition PSA 10, $1,575. Actually, I think that's a little undervalued as well. Gym Challenge, got a lot to go over here. Lieutenant Surge's Raichu First Edition PSA 10, sold for $620. And I stupidly told this guy, one guy, that I was like, hey, I don't want to sell it for that because the 9's selling for this. But, in like a week, if it doesn't sell for this, I'll sell it to you for $550. My First Edition PSA 10, Lieutenant Surge's Raichu thing, because I am convinced that is worth no less than $900. $1,000. So I was convinced that someone was going to buy it, but they didn't. It's like, oh man, I gave this guy my word. Now I got to sell it to him. So I sold it to him for $550, and he got a great deal. Whoever you are, good on you. Blaine's Arcanine First Edition PSA 9, 610 and 660. We had 2 different sales. That is stupid undervalued in my opinion as well. Especially, I would not sell anything right now. Or if you are, just put it like 20 to 50% what you think it's worth up on eBay, just because it's about to blow up. I'm not selling. I have things on eBay, and a lot of which I still have to raise the prices on because I just don't want to sell for these prices because they're about to. Giovanni's Nidoking, First Edition PSA 9, 228 and a 10 sold for 610. Stupid undervalued. Oh my god. All of these are Sabrina's Alakazam, First Edition PSA 9, 319. That might be properly rated. Rocket's Mewtwo, First Edition PSA 9, 522. And an interesting Misty's Gyarados PSA 9 sold for 520. So those are neck and neck, which is so interesting. Now, you make the argument, well, Misty has Gyarados in the Pokemon Adventures manga, gives it to Red. And that's why that's, as popular as a Rocket's Mewtwo, which is, essentially Blaine's Mewtwo, but in the cards. And, Giovanni has it in the anime. Blaine has it in the manga, and Giovanni has it in the anime. There's a lot circling around Rocket's Mewtwo. And it's got history. It's the first card with 3 attacks. They had to make the holo smaller just to fit those attacks. So these guys are neck and neck, which is great. But interesting enough, that we had a Misty's Gyarados First Edition BGS 9.5. So it's higher than a 9. The only thing that got a 9 in the BGS was the corners. Everything else was 9.5. That sold for 426. So whoever got that for a steal, in my opinion. Sabrina First Edition PSA 9 sold for 185. Koga's Beedrill PSA 9 sold for 366, and another one sold for 203. That is kind of finding its footing, because I haven't seen a good quality 10 come out in a long time. Maybe one last year. Maybe. That card it'll sell as soon as it's out there, but it's just, the owners don't sell it. There's less than 60 available. It is so rare. We have a Rocket Zapdos PSA 9 sold for, 2 of them. One sold for 340, and these are all First Edition. One sold for 340, the other sold for 355. So that's a nice couple of data points right there. Erica's Venusaur, First Edition PSA 9, for 810. That's where I think roundabout it should be. Because for a long time, it was selling between $400 and $600. Like, oh no, this is so undervalued. And 810 to $900, yeah, that's good. Because the 10, for a starter, again, you have multiple starters after base set Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. You have a Dark Charizard and a Dark Blastoise and Rocket set, but Venusaur was conspicuously absent. And so when Erica now it kind of makes, when Erica has a Venusaur, she's definitely the light side. She's definitely a good guy in the manga, at least. That's something where there's less than 100 copies PSA 10, First Edition. So that's something that I 100% think should be $5,000, just because it's a starter. And Dark Charizard First Edition PSA 10. Yes, he's a lot more popular, but there's like 400 or 500 something of them PSA 10. It's like 5x of what Erica's Venusaur is. So even if it gets, so it's 5x the amount of what Erica's Venusaur is, and it right now, if Erica's Venusaur gets like $3,000 or $4,000, Dark Charizard gets double that amount. So very, very rare. Venusaur collectors gonna go for that. Where else are we here? Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 9, 1930. A little undervalued, but good for you. Oh, also, why I also think, because Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 10, there are like 7 of them on there on eBay right now. So that's going to drive the price down. I think you can get one for like $9,500, which is less than one of the last PWCC auctions, like $9,700. So I didn't get that. And it's $9,500 the best offer. You might be able to get $9,000 for it. Koga's Koga PSA 10, $860. Koga's Ditto PSA 9 so for $418. That's why I jumped my Ditto. It was like $550 or best offer. Like, no, $700 best offer. But the PSA 9 Koga's Ditto, I think, is a little high for $418. I think it should be probably around $250, $300, and the PSA 10 should be about, say, $7 or $8. But yeah, Giovanni's Nidoking should be like $1,200 card. That's in my, because that's his Nidoking. It's so badass. It's so cool. Or Koga's Ditto PSA 9 getting 418. That's almost double of what Giovanni's Nidoking got. That should not happen. Maybe Koga's Ditto is just wildly popular now, and I'm just out of the loop, but I don't think so. I think the 9 was just, I think it's a little overvalued, just my opinion. Then we have a Blaine PSA 9, sold for 180, and a Japanese Blaine's Charizard PSA 10, sold for 815. A little bit more to go over here. Rocket set. We have a Dark Raichu PSA 9, sold for 520, and a Dark Magneton PSA 9, sold for 345. Because those Dark Magnetons are so hard to come by, the PSA 10 anyway, so hard to grade, I think it's a little undervalued. Neogenesis T18, Typhlosion number 18, PSA 9, sold for 810. Meganium number 11, we have 2 sales of these. PSA 9 sold for 440, and the PSA 10 for 2,275. Fan freaking tastic. Fits that Chavez formula where the 10 sells between 5 and 8 times what the 9 sells. So good on you. Lugia raw. I would have given this an 8, maybe a weak 9, but it sold for $4,100. If you have a Lugia raw, yeah, I just sell it raw. Don't even get it graded. You're gonna get more for it if it's raw. Metal Energy. PSA 9's over $100. That is so undervalued. That's my opinion. Yeah, that should be going for like $200-300. Lugia first edition PSA 7. We have 2 sales. We have $1,175 and $1,450. Those are so undervalued. I took my Lugias off. I have 2 PSA 8s and I have a PSA 7. Not selling. Pre-release Gyarados. I'm sorry, pre-release Clefable from Jungle Set. PSA 7 sold for $539. I have a PSA 7 left. I have it at like 700 or best offer. I got to raise that price. I don't want to sell it for that price. Gold stars. Okay, we have a Jolteon PSA 8, 580. Latios raw. I would have given it a 5 or a 6. Sold for $219. Vaporeon PSA 9 sold for $880. Legendary beasts, all of them. We have Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. PSA 9 sold for $18.55. So that's $600, like $18 per. $618.33 per card. That is undervalued. That is a great deal. Whoever got that, golf clap. Hats off to you. Gold Star Charizard PSA 8, $27.62. Good price point. Very, very properly rated. Gym Heroes. Brock's Rhydon. Another thing that I think is incredibly undervalued. I don't even have one. First edition PSA 10, so for $750. That should be $1,200, in my opinion. Tennis Surge's Electabuzz PSA 9, $163, properly rated. Neo Rev, Houndoom PSA 9, sold for $700, and an Entei PSA 9, sold for $930. Yeah, those are properly rated as well. Gyarados, a Fossil, we have a Gengar PSA 9, $555. Skyridge, we have a Charizard Reverse Holo PSA 9, sold for $2711, so $2,711. Again, Reverse Holo, yeah, probably rated. Base set, we have a Blastoise, first edition PSA 9, sold for $8,100. I think that is going to be one of the last times you're going to see that card for under 10 grand. If you can find that's just my opinion. If I had the money, I would get one of that. I'm trying to do a BGS collection. I have a BGS 9 Charizard and a BGS 9 Raichu. If I had the money and I could get a BGS 9 Blastoise for that price, I would do it right away, no questions. Promos. We have the 3 Gym Challenge victory medals. We have a 3rd place medal, PSA 10, $348. 2nd place medal, PSA 10, $310. And a 1st place medal, PSA 9, so for $319. So I think that if that 1st place was a 10, that would have been, I don't know, $500. All right, I love you guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I love you. Meow, meow.